It was 10 years after that time, and she was now the daughter of the head of one of the criminal gangs. Harry was really a real father. Her question from Frank was to confirm her again, though she could not deny her rescue. If she did not accept it and delivered it, she would not have the opportunity and freedom now. They entered the camp. Taze and Joel asked me to allow them to live in their own home and come to the club for work. I said, I will allow you not to think or not give you to you. I can bring you again, make you clear. Do whatever you want, and wherever you want. Remember not to get my property, even if someone else was. Both were happily on the car and headed to the TS house. Ellie turned to me and said, Harry, I can invite you to a 2-person appointment, only ourselves. I smiled and said, because not. I'm happy. Where now? Dining in Loved Birds. Great, I love you so much. I also. She looked into my eyes and said, you are a real father for me. If you didn't save me, today I was like those girls in my neck. And I walked 4 hands and feet on the ground and I had to be a Mio or barking instead of talking. I opened my hands and he hugged myself and cried. Crying so comfortable, you are my dear girl. We go to the club instead of the 2 birds. After Eli, I also went to the bathroom, shaved my face from the bottom, asked him to choose the dress I like to wear, white shirt, silk, pants. He also wore long shirts and skirts. Hearing she shouted around and said, how are I? Great. We got out of the building together. After a while, we went near the restaurant for the park. The restaurant of the Love Birds reminded exactly everyone before the devastation, a very large and stylish restaurant, immersed in the lights of lights, tables and male and female waiter. With a smile on the customers, live music and dance. One of the waiters came forward and offered one of the tables. He chose the 2 tables out of the table, where the 2 sides were short mud and fenced walls and were not exposed to commuting. There was a short distance from us, with the sound of its water and fountains gave man a special peace. The restaurant official said, ladies and gentlemen, good night. If you wish, we will hold live music with the dance ceremony, with everyone you love. We all knocked on, a number of men and women. Girls and boys got up. Eli stretched out her hand to me and said, are you proud? I put my hand in her hand and joined the rest. The musicians began to play. Eli put one hand on them and the other in my hand. And we started dancing slowly. Then, as the song changed, Eli changed her dance. Said to me, are you present? Yeah. She got up on her claws and began to rotate around herself. Her long skirts and tacks flew in the air, she shone under the light, and she continued for a few minutes. She then bent back and forth on my hands. Her movements drew everyone's attention. After a while, she softened the movements like a professional dancer, and romantically. And I also did my best to accompany her. When she finished her dance, everyone was applauded for her, and she paid tribute to the princess. And at the end, a kiss was to answer. And we returned to the table again. I said, I will never forget this night, thank you. She said with a smile, please. From now on we need to be more together. Be sure. After dinner, Eli gave a bouquet of flowers as a princess. We were leaving the restaurant where the voice of the woman she called Eli and I looked back. Barbara,